Good morning, everyone.
Buenos días a todos.
This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Esta es su comparecencia inicial ante el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I am a judge in this court.
Mi nombre es Brad Gardner y yo soy un juez de este tribunal.
I am not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case.
Yo no estoy acá para tener un juicio en su caso o para aceptar una declaración a cargos en su caso.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Yo estoy acá para informarles cuáles son los cargos que le han sido imputados en su contra,
to advise you of certain rights,
para decirles cuáles son sus derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I am authorized to set bail,
para otorgarle fianza en esos delitos que se me permite otorgarle fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
para programar una audiencia preliminar,
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y para determinar si usted requiere la asistencia de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing,
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio y no decir nada,
but should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial.
pero si usted renuncia a este derecho, cualquier cosa que usted diga durante este proceso podría ser usada en su contra si su caso va a juicio.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
O sea que por favor no discuta los hechos de cómo ocurrieron en su caso.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante este y todos los otros procesos, usted tiene los siguientes derechos.
The right to the presumption of innocence,
El derecho a la presunción de inocencia,
the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors,
al derecho de que se le impute cargos por el gran jurado, si es por delito grave, o que se le formule una acusación si es un delito menor.
the right to a speedy and public trial by jury,
El derecho de tener un juicio público rápido y por jurado,
the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
el derecho de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a los testigos que sean citados para testificar en su contra,
the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your own behalf,
el derecho de obligar a la asistencia de los testigos para que testifiquen a su favor,
the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
el derecho de testificar a su favor y de presentar pruebas,
the right to have an attorney represent you.
el derecho de tener un abogado para que lo represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si usted no puede contratar un abogado, uno le sería nombrado si usted califica.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Algunos de ustedes se le va a permitir pagar fianzas sin restricciones para que lo dejen salir de la cárcel.
And this bond may be cash, commercial, or property.
Y esta fianza podría ser en efectivo, comercial o usando una propiedad.
If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office.
Si usted paga su fianza en efectivo, alguien tiene que llevar la cantidad total de su fianza más las tarifas adicionales a la comisaría.
The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case.
La comisaría se quedaría con este dinero en efectivo y se lo reembolsaría al final de su caso.
If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service.
Si usted usa una compañía fiancista, alguien tendría que pagar las tarifas adicionales a esta compañía por sus servicios.
The fee will not be returned.
Pero las tarifas adicionales no le serían reembolsadas.
I don't know what fee will be charged, but it is usually based on a percentage of the bond.
Yo no sé cuál sería la tarifa que se le cobraría, pero generalmente está basada en un porcentaje de la fianza.
Finally, if you use property to post the bond, the property will need to have a net equity at least 3 times the total amount of the bond.
Finalmente, si usted usa una propiedad para pagar la fianza, la propiedad tendría que tener por lo menos una equidad neta que sea 3 veces la cantidad total de su fianza.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes van a tener condiciones especiales en su fianza en las que se le prohíbe ponerse en contacto con ciertas personas de que vaya a ciertos lugares.
This special condition will be provided to you on a separate form.
Esta condición especial se le va a dar a usted en un formulario por separado.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail.
También se le va a prohibir que usted se ponga en contacto con la víctima mientras usted está encarcelado.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial.
Si usted no cumple la orden del juez, su fianza sería revocada y usted tendría que quedarse encarcelado hasta el final de su juicio.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
A usted también le podría imputar cargos adicionales por delitos graves.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Es importante que sepa que si alguien está nombrado como la víctima, en su caso, a esta persona no se le va a permitir pagar su fianza.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes se le acusa de delitos por los cuales a este juez no se le permite, por ley, otorgarle fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date.
En ese caso, una audiencia sería programada en el Tribunal Superior del Condado de Clayton y a usted se le informaría cuál sería la fecha.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si actualmente usted está bajo libertad condicional, a ese juez no se le permite fijarle fianza en estos momentos.
Whether bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Si su fianza es apropiada en este caso, esto se haría nuevamente tan pronto la agente de libertad condicional tenga la oportunidad de tomar en cuenta este arresto.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
El propósito de la audiencia preliminar es determinar si las pruebas son suficientes para apoyar los cargos en su contra.
The standard at this stage is very low.
Y los estándares en esta etapa son muy bajos.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Para que un juez determine si los casos proceden en este momento, solamente tiene que determinar si existe la posibilidad de que el delito ocurrió.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Todos tienen la capacidad de renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Sin embargo, primero usted debe hablar con un abogado antes de que si usted no está seguro, si usted debe renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si usted paga su fianza, su audiencia preliminar automáticamente se cancela.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Y usted va a recibir una notificación en la dirección que usted provea de cuándo va a ser su próxima corte.
Finally, excuse me. Finally, will everyone please raise your right hand?
Finalmente, podrían todos, por favor, levantar su mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be sorry. Do you swear or affirm any statement you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
¿Jura usted y afirma que cualquier declaración que usted dé durante este proceso va a ser la verdad, toda la verdad, y nada más que la verdad, lo jura ante Dios?
Okay, I had a brain freeze, I'm sorry. I was actually trying to think of two different things. What we're gonna do, I still don't have the CAA forms, so what we're gonna do is handle Mr. Diaz first, since he's a fugitive, and I don't necessarily need a CAA form for him. And then what I believe I'm going to do is, since everyone is sworn, if I don't get the forms, I'm going to ask questions about your employment and your salary so that I can determine if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer if they want, so that we can keep this moving along. Mr. Diaz?
Señor Díaz.
Give me 2 seconds. He's coming to the front, Your Honor.
Okay.
The rest of y'all, I'll sleep with him right here. Y'all slide all the way down there. Y'all gonna take some first. Y'all have a seat. Hold on, Mr. Diaz. I'm over here.
Mr. Diaz, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Díaz, ¿puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
I speak English.
Okay. Well, that helps. I'll still deal with you, Mr. Diaz, so that we can, since you're here. So you are in a position that you have the same rights as everybody else, except you're in a sort of a special situation. You're accused of being a fugitive from justice. And basically what that means is that you don't have charges pending here in Clayton County, but you do have a warrant for your arrest out of Broward County Sheriff's Department in Florida for grand theft in the 3rd degree. And they're saying that they will extradite. And first question is, do you have a lawyer representing you as it relates to those charges in Florida?
I ain't have a chance to talk to anybody, sir, because I'm the only one in this state. So I don't really know right now. I got to get in contact with somebody.
Okay, so you have a right to challenge this warrant. And by challenging the warrant, what that means is that if you believe that you're not Oscar Alexander Diaz, or you believe that there are not true charges pending against you in Florida, you can ask for what's called a habeas hearing or an extradition hearing. And that'll take place sometime within the next 30 days. But the only thing that's being determined at that hearing is whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether those charges are actually pending. We're not there to determine whether you did it or not. That's not our concern. Hold on 1 second.
If he comes down here, they have to wait. They tell him to go back.
I'm sorry, Mr. Diaz. So the only thing that's determined at that hearing is whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether those charges are pending. You have a right to waive that hearing, meaning if you do believe that you are Oscar Alexander Diaz and you are the person named in the warrant and that those charges are probably pending, you can waive the hearing, and that starts the clock ticking today. And they have roughly 60 days to come get you, but it's a 30-day period, and they can request an additional 30 days. If they don't come and get you, the sheriff's department will contact them and inquire again, are you going to come get Mr. Diaz? And if they don't come and get you, then sheriff's department will release you. But the warrant will still be pending. So you can walk out the front door and then get stopped 5 minutes later, and you'll get rearrested because there's a warrant pending, because that's just the way the process works. Have you understood what I've said so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any idea as to whether you want to have your hearing or do you want to waive your hearing?
I want to waive. I want them to come get me.
Okay. So what's going to happen is the sheriff's deputies on that side, they're going to give you forms to sign, and they're going to send the forms to me today, and I'll sign those forms today, and then that'll start your clock ticking. Okay.
Permission, sir?
Yes, sir.
If there's any chance, sir, you can just like as fast as possible, sir, because I'm the only one in this state, please, sir.
Yes, it'll get done today. As you can see, I'm trying to move this whole thing along and not just have people waiting, because I know people want to get out. And for you, you want the clock to start ticking.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Diaz will be free to go back once he signs the forms. And we'll deal with Mr. De La Luz next. Mr. De La Luz, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor de la Cruz, ¿puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. De La Luz, you've been charged with 4 driving-related offenses.
Señor de la Luz, a usted se le acusa con 4 delitos relacionados con infracciones de tránsito.
Driving under the influence, the bond is going to be set at $2,000.
De manejar embriagado, su fianza va a ser de $2,000.
Driving without a license, the bond is going to be set at $1,000.
De manejar sin licencia de conducir, su fianza va a ser de $1,000.
You have an open container violation, the bond is set at $500.
Usted tiene una infracción por tener un envase alcohólico abierto y su fianza va a ser de $500.
And improper lane change, the bond is going to be set at $500.
Y cambio inapropiado de carril, su fianza va a ser de $500.
So you're going to have a total bond of $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
O sea que usted va a tener una fianza total de $4,000. ¿Cree usted que va a poder pagar su fianza, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date.
Su audiencia preliminar está fija para el 27 de abril a las 8:30 de la mañana. Usted va a recibir una notificación de esta audiencia, pero esta audiencia se cancela si usted paga su fianza y sale.
Sí.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, representing yourself, or do you want to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Usted está planeando contratarse a su propio abogado, representarse a sí mismo, o usted quiere que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
No, mi patrón va a pagar por mí.
No, my boss is going to pay for me.
Okay. You are free to go back, Mr. De La Luz.
Ok, señor de la Luz, puede retirarse.
Mr. Herta?
Señor Huerta.
Sir, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
¿Puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
You're charged with 1 count of driving without a license. The bond is going to be set at $1,000.
A usted se le acusa de un cargo de manejar sin licencia de conducir y su fianza va a ser de $1,000.
Okay.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date.
Usted va a tener una audiencia preliminar fija para el 27 de abril, pero esa audiencia se cancela tan pronto usted salga bajo fianza y usted le van a notificar de cuándo va a ser su próxima corte.
Sí, ahorita mi sobrina ya está en eso de pagar la fianza.
Yes, right now my niece is doing that, trying to pay my bond.
Okay. Do you want to, do you plan to hire your own lawyer, represent yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Usted piensa contratarse su propio abogado, representarse a sí mismo, o usted quiere que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
No, yo pagaría la fianza.
I'll pay the bond.
I understand, but do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yo entiendo, pero usted está planeando contratarse un abogado, representarse a sí mismo, o usted quiere que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado.
Yo mismo.
Myself.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Herta.
Puede retirarse, señor Huerta.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
Mr. Zarate?
Señor Zarate.
Sir, you're charged with one count of driving without a license. The bond is set at $1,000 for that.
Señora, usted se le acusa de un cargo de manejar sin licencia de conducir y su fianza está fija a $1,000 por esto.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date.
Usted va a tener la audiencia preliminar fija para el 27 de abril, pero esta fecha se cancela o esta audiencia se cancela cuando usted pague su fianza y a usted se le va a informar de cuándo va a ser su próxima corte.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Usted piensa contratarse su propio abogado, representarse a sí mismo, o usted quiere que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
A mí mismo.
Myself.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Zarate.
Puede retirarse, señor Zarate.
So it looks like that's it, Ms. Bermudez. So you are free to go. Have a good day.
No, no. Oh, we got one more, young.
Okay.
You see, friend? Come on.
Sir, what is your name?
Señor, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Pascual Cardoso. I speak English, though.
So you want
Pascual Cardoso.
Okay. Mr. Cardozo, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $5,000.
Sir, this is my house where I live in. I don't know who called the police. This is my house. I live in 969 6 Way, Porter Park. This is my house.
Okay. You've been charged with breaking Miss Elizabeth Mann's bedroom door, causing it to be damaged.
No, man. No, sir. I opened the door because there's a little puppy, 9 days old, inside the room with no water, no food, nothing for all day and night. I
So,
opened the door.
Mr. Cardoso, this is not the time to determine whether you're guilty or innocent,
Yes, sir.
okay? My job is to set a bond for you so that you can get out of jail, to see if you need the appointment of a lawyer so the lawyer can defend you or you can defend yourself and give you court dates. Do you understand that?
I do understand that, sir, but how I gonna be charged on my own house?
Okay.
This is my house.
Mr. Cardoso, if you didn't do it, you will be found not guilty. So from with respect to criminal trespass, what happens in this state is that if you are alleged to have broken property that has joint ownership, or you've deprived someone of their property, you can be charged, meaning it's an allegation. The state has to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
I said I do. Ain't nothing broken in my house.
I'm not the police officer that arrested you, okay?
I
That
don't
police
even know
officer,
what
hold on, Mr. Cardoso, please. The police officer has to prove the allegation against you. If the police officer cannot prove the allegation against you, the charges will be dismissed. Understand?
I understand, sir.
So do you understand what my job is here today?
Yes, sir.
What is my job here today?
Set it back. Bring it
Okay.
out here.
Can you post that bond?
I cannot. I'm disabled.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, of course, sir.
You said you are disabled.
I'm disabled. I'm disabled. I get a monthly pay check, $750, and I'm gonna pay it for my property.
Okay, so you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Elizabeth Mann. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out. What you can do, you said that you own the property. You can use that property to post your bond.
I'm not owning the property. Everything else from my neighbor, somebody's owning the property.
Okay. You can contact a bonding company and tell them that you have a bond that's been set, and they will work with you. They'll even put you on a payment plan. Some bonding companies will, okay? All right, you're free to go back, Mr. Cardoso. Is there anyone else?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bermudez. You're free to go.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. So for everyone on both sides, I'm gonna make an announcement. Because I don't have the paperwork that you filled out, I want everyone to think right now whether you want me to see if you qualify for a lawyer, whether you're gonna hire your own lawyer, or whether you're gonna represent yourself. So when I ask that question, we'll know what we can do and we can keep it moving, and y'all can get your bonds and you can bond out. Okay, let's switch over to the lady side.
Your Honor, you should, if you would check with your clerk, you should have the paperwork because I faxed it over probably like 10, 15 minutes ago.
I don't have access to fax.
Well, I mean, email. He emailed it probably like 10, 15 minutes ago.
Yes, Miss Mary called and said that's what she was being told, but we don't have it.
Okay. Well, I faxed it to you.
Did you fax it or email it?
I mean, email.
Okay. Was it to me directly or was it to the whole group?
The whole group.
Okay. I must be something wrong with the mail system. But I'll just end up doing more work on the back end when the forms do come in.
Okay.
But I don't want us to be waiting around for a technical issue.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna ask everybody about the ones that want a lawyer appointed to ask about their employment and their monthly income.
I'm clear.
All right, and I'll just make notations and then I'll just do it on the back end.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All
Ms. Bledsoe?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, and it's being listed as a felony. You're gonna have a $5,000 bond, and you're gonna have a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Vincent Smith. Do you believe you can post this bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently employed, Ms. Bledsoe?
Yes, sir.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
1,200. 13.
Okay, so you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date of April 26th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions of me, Ms. Bledsoe?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am.
Go back to your card.
Ms. Bryant?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of battery. The bond is gonna be set at $5,000, but there's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Khadijah Sanders. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, I could try.
Okay, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Are you currently employed?
Yes.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
I say about 1,100.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back, Ms.
Thank
Bryant. You're welcome. Ms. Dunbar?
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. You have a lawyer, Mr. Ballard, and Mr. Ballard, he checked in at 11 o'clock, and while we were waiting, we just decided to go ahead and discuss your situation. And so you're gonna have a bond set at $5,000. Your family members were present in his office. I believe he said it was your sister. And because we didn't know when we would get started, they wanted to go ahead and get started on making the arrangements for your bond. So I told Mr. Ballard that I would inform you that he was present and that we did discuss your situation. And so he thought it would be more prudent to start with the family on working to get your bond. Okay?
Thank you.
So you're free to go back, man.
Okay.
Ms. Lowe?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. You've been charged with 2 battery-related counts. One is battery and one is simple battery. I've set the bond for each at actually there's $5,000 bond for the battery and a $2,500 bond for the simple battery. So that's a total bond of $7,500. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Alexis Johnson and Ashley Duffy. Now, do you believe you can post this bond, ma'am?
I need that reduced, sir, but you said $7,500?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. But I'm not working. I recently just got in a car accident on the 1st, so I'm already in the middle of a lawsuit and going to the chiropractor. Is there some way that charge, that other one can come a little bit down, a little bit more? Because I'm already, my back, my head, I got other bigger matters going on as well, literally right now.
Well, the $5,000 amount is the lowest that we set on battery.
Yes, sir. I'm saying the other one, if you can come down a little bit more, I know for a fact I could probably get out.
I actually, originally I set it at 5,000, but I reduced it by half to 2,500. So I have come down on that. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for, April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. You said you're currently unemployed.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir, you don't have to do that.
Okay, you're gonna hire your own or you're gonna represent yourself?
Yeah, I'll probably have a lawyer.
Okay. If you don't have any questions of me, Ms. Lowe, you're free to go back.
No, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back, man.
Have a good one.
You too. Let's see. Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. The bond is gonna be set at $5,000. You're gonna have a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Saeed Richard. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, I can try.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 26th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently employed, Ms. Lewis?
Yes,
Approximately how much do you make per month?
1,800.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Stone?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. The bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Arteria Banks or Artera Banks. Do you believe you can post this bond, ma'am?
Yes,
Do you understand the stay away provision?
yes.
Okay, are you sure?
Take a deep breath and just talk. It's all right, just take a deep breath.
She stays in my home.
Okay.
My granddaughter.
So this stay away provision can get lifted, but Ms. Banks will have to contact the solicitor's office and let them know that she's not afraid of you. We placed the stay away provisions on these bonds because we don't want whatever happened that led you to come before me today to flare back up when you get out, okay?
Yes,
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
yes,
Are you currently employed, ma'am?
yes.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
I get unemployment roughly about 2,000.
So you're not employed.
I am still employed partially because I work for DeKalb County and
Okay.
we're early back in school.
Okay. So you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Ms. Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged with, looks like 4 driving related offenses. Following too close, the bond is set at $500. You're charged with driving under the influence as a second offense. And so the bond for that is gonna be set at $10,000.
Excuse me.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you speak, ma'am. I promise I'm gonna let you speak. Use or possession of drug-related objects, the bond is set at $1,500. And driving a vehicle with an expired tag, the bond is set at $500. Now, what is it that you wanted to tell me?
The DUI second offense. This is my first offense. I don't know where that came from. I've never been charged again before. I explained that to the clerk downstairs, but I don't know where that came from. It's my first DUI.
Okay, let me look. Let me look. Ma'am, what were you placed on probation for?
When?
There's a 2010 CR08543 number, indictment number, it looks like. And that was out of Clayton County, the Sheriff's Department.
The only probations that I've served were for traffic-related issues, like not having enough insurance or registration of that sort. I've never been stopped for such a DUI, ever.
Okay, it looks like that is correct. Let me do one more search. Okay, so the DUI does look like you've never been charged with the DUI, so I'm going to reduce that bond to $5,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning. But that date will get waived upon your bonding out. It looks like your total bond is going to be $7,000 now. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You currently employed, Ms. Thomas?
Yes.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
About 25, maybe 3,000.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions of me?
I don't.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, sit on the floor.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. White?
He's coming, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. White, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. The bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Okay. There's going to be a provision, stay away provision on this bond to stay away from 5449 Martin Court in Ellenwood, Georgia, zip code 30294. Do you understand that provision, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you currently employed, ma'am?
Yes.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
About 6,000.
Okay, you're going to be above the threshold, ma'am, for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you. So you're going to have to hire your own lawyer or represent yourself. Okay?
Your Honor, may I speak?
Yes.
I don't think she fully understands if you.
Okay. Ms. White, are you taking any medications currently?
Yes.
What medications are you taking?
The president.
Okay. What I'm going to do, Ms. White, is I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you because I believe that you're going to need the assistance of an attorney. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me? Okay. All right, Ms. White, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, have a seat right there and I'll take you back in a minute. Yeah, have a seat. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see. I have one more, Miss Zamora.
She's out the bar.
But, okay, I was gonna ask that. All right, well, thank you, and you have a good day.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Okay, we're ready to start on the men's side.
Okay. First one's gonna be Alexander. Who's Alexander? I mean Anderson, my bad.
Okay. Mr. Anderson.
Yes, sir.
You're charged with, looks like 4 offenses. They're all misdemeanors except for the criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. I can't set a bond on that because there's an indication that you are on probation.
Okay.
So what that means is that it doesn't mean that you can't get bond. I just can't set it at the first hearing.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna have $15,000 bond on the other 3 offenses. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from Paige Kessie. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 26th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm going to set a bond hearing date right now for April 30th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, I represent myself.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Anderson? Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is gonna be Burkett. You can go back.
Mr. Burkett,
Yes.
you've been charged with aggravated assault, but because your criminal history, I don't believe you have any convictions. I'm going to set a $15,000 bond on this charge, but it's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Tamara Bellamy. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
No.
Okay. Do you understand stay away provision?
Yes. Yes.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah. Public defender.
Yes. Are you currently employed, Mr. Burkett?
Self-employed.
Okay. Approximately how much do you make per month?
It varies, maybe 15, maybe 2,000.
Okay. So you do qualify, Mr. Burkett. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 26th at 8:30 in the morning. But that date is going to get waived if you're able to bond out. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Burkett?
Yeah, so now I'm saying today, I may not have the money, but I might have the money on the weekend. I'm just waiting for my ex-wife to get back in town.
Okay.
So what does that mean? I mean,
So,
can I bond it out? I mean,
I'm
it's possible I can get bonded out. I just can't do it today.
Okay, so this bond is going to be set today, and whenever you're able to make the arrangements to post the bond, you'll be released.
So I just get in contact with in one of the offices, the correction offices. How does that work?
So let's use a bonding company as an example.
Right.
If you were to call a bonding company today and tell them you have a $15,000 bond, the bonding company would tell you how much they would charge.
Right.
So theoretically, You said you're waiting for your wife to get it, ex-wife. So she could send the money to the bonding company today, and they'll post your bond, and you'll get out today.
Okay, I was just wondering, like, I know she'll be back on Sunday. I just wanted to know how can I, you know, I'll probably be able to reach her, but I guess she'll just take the money down there, or she'll just go to the bonding agency?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so what's the information, what information I need to give her? What bonding?
So the sheriff's department, they have a list of bonding companies that are approved to write bonds in this county, and
Okay.
they'll give you that list with the companies on it and their numbers. So either you can call or she can call and make the arrangements, and then they will then come make the arrangements with the sheriff's department for you to be released.
Also, I have one more question. I'm supposed to stay away from Tamara, right?
Yes.
But the place that I work out of, I can still go there and work, right?
That's going to be a problem because, well, theoretically, the manager can make schedules so that the two of you are not there at the same time.
Okay.
So it's not that you
Yeah,
can't
but
go there.
she doesn't work there though. It was somebody who came in there and started bugging me. She knew me and she started bothering me, and you know that.
Okay, so you can go back to work. Okay, all right. You're free to go back, Mr. Burkett.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is Mr. Brewer.
Okay, Mr. Brewer, you're charged with offenses that I can't set up a bond on right now: the aggravated assault and the robbery. So I'm going to have to deny bond on.
Your Honor.
Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to deny bond on those offenses, and you're gonna have to have a bond hearing. And so I'm not gonna set bond on the other offenses and just leave that to the next judge. Okay, now what is it, Mr. Brewer?
I was going to say, I've never been charged with any violent thing in my past, or even accused of anything violent in my past. I've never had a failure to appear or anything of that nature, so I didn't understand why you had to use the bond.
You go back.
So there are certain offenses that I cannot set bond at this stage, okay? And so the robbery and the aggravated assault, what's that say? I can't set bond on those. It was, what is it? The aggravated assault against a peace officer. So it doesn't mean you can't get out. I'm just saying I can't set bond on those right now.
So if I hired an attorney, would April 27th be the earliest that I would be able to come before a judge again?
No, your attorney, let's say you hired an attorney today. The attorney could go over, call over to the district attorney's office and say, hey, this is all a misunderstanding. This is what really happened. I got these witnesses that can show that this is what happened. And the district attorney's office can consent to a bond. And then they'll present it to a judge and the judge will sign it. Okay, but the April 26th is going to be your preliminary hearing date, and April 30th is going to be your bond date. Now, do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm gonna have my own lawyer.
Okay. If you don't have any other questions for me, Mr. Brewer, you're free to go back.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Can I use the phone? Yeah, let them know. Yeah, let you. Next is Mr. Bryant.
Okay.
Steve Floyd. Look at Steve Floyd, like that boy out.
Mr. Bryant.
Yes, sir.
You've been charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling and 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon. Both of these without a license, both of these are misdemeanor offenses. The bonds have been set by schedule, which means they've been preset. So you're gonna have a total bond of $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently employed, Mr. Bryant?
I was in the process of, I was going to start training Friday. So if I do make bond and get out, yes, I will be employed. But at this moment, no, sir.
Okay. So you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Bryant?
Yes, what is the percentage of 6,000? If I was to
It's gonna be roughly 600, probably between 600 and 800. And I say that because each bonding company charges their own fee. Okay.
All right, that's it. Thanks.
You're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
Next is going to be Chappelle.
Okay. Sir, you've been charged with one count of family violence battery. The bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Tara Chappelle or Tara. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes.
And do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
Yes.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
I make about $11 an hour. What did that add up to? About 2,000 maybe a month.
How much do you make? I mean, per hour?
$11.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go back.
Next is Mr. Crowder. Have you not yet received the forms yet, young?
I have not.
Okay. I'm gonna get in contact with the clerk for you.
Okay. Mr. Crowder, you're charged with obstructing an officer, driving a vehicle without a license, reckless driving, and hit and run. You're gonna have a total bond set at $11,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Is it possible to come down on any of that today? At least like 1,000?
No. I mean, because it's basically the allegation is that you're running from the police and wrecked your car. So I'm not gonna come down on this. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning. But that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you currently employed, Mr. Crowder?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, that'd be it. One question. You said the total bond is 11,000?
Yes, sir.
So that would be like 1,100?
Approximately, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Around that amount. And I say approximately because the bonding company will tell you exactly what fee that they'll charge. Okay. Any other questions?
That'd be all.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
Next is Mr. Durham, John.
Mr. Durham, you're charged with one count of battery and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. These are all misdemeanor offenses. You're gonna have a total bond set at $10,000, but there's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Samara Murphy. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes,
Are you currently employed, Mr. Durham?
yes,
Approximately how much do you make per month?
about $2,500.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Durham. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next is Mr. Farmer.
Okay. Mr. Farmer, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery and 1 count of disorderly conduct. You're gonna have a total bond set at $4,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from a Jamil Walter. Do you understand that stay away provision?
Yes, sir, but I don't know this person.
Okay. Excuse me. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently employed, Mr. Farmer?
I'm retired military.
Okay. There's actually something you should be aware of. They're starting a veterans court here, and we're referring all retired military over to Judge Mack. So you may be receiving a call or information from them about their court. I'm going to find that you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to get waived and you'll get a new court date upon your case getting formally charged, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Farmer?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Next is going to be Mr. Flanor.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon and 1 count of disorderly conduct. The bonds for these offenses are automatically set. So you're gonna have a total bond set for $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I should have everything straight by the time I go to court, but I was trying to see if, can you do like a bond reduction? Because I was at work, sir.
So these 2 bonds are set by schedule, and what that means is that a group of judges got together and decided what bonds would be appropriate for certain offenses. So I can't go below this.
Okay. Well, I'll just ask, so I appreciate you
No problem. So you're gonna represent yourself or you're gonna hire your own lawyer?
though. I should be all right, sir. I should represent myself.
Okay, you're free to go back.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Next is Mr. Gosha. Okay.
Mr. Gosha, you're charged with driving a vehicle on an expired tag. Bond is going to be set at $500. You're charged with 2 counts of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of cocaine and possession of cocaine with the intent to distribute. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. I'm sorry, $5,000 for the possession and $10,000 for the possession with intent. You're going to have a $1,500 bond set for use or possession of drug-related objects, and $10,000 bond set for possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. So you're gonna have a total bond set at $27,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I can try. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 26th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Are you currently employed, Mr. Gosha?
Unemployed.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes. Well, no, this isn't my police, so no, I don't have any questions.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Okay.
Next is Mr. Hardy. What's your name?
Are we skipping over Mr. Freeman?
No, sir. Mr. Freeman's next. I skipped over myself. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay, no problem. Mr. Hardy?
No, this is Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Freeman, you've been charged with 1 count of obstructing an officer and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. You're gonna have a total bond set at $3,500. Do you believe you can post this bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Are you currently employed, Mr. Freeman?
Yeah.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
$1,500.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, did the bond already post? Will my people be able to get me out now?
The obstructing of an officer is a I had to set the bond on that. So when this whole hearing is over, I do the paperwork and I send it back over to the sheriff's department, and then they start inputting the information. If your family, if you contact your family and let them know your total bond amount, they can make arrangements with the bonding company or whatever way that they want to get you out. So by the time the paperwork is done, you'll be able to get bonded out. And so when your bond is posted, they will come and get you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
That's all.
Okay.
Next is Mr. Hardy.
Mr. Hardy, you're charged with speeding. Bond's going to be set at $500 for that. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime and violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Both of those are felonies, and the bond is going to be set at $10,000 apiece for those offenses. So you're going to have a total bond of $20,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 26th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, I got myself.
Okay. If you don't have any questions of me, Mr. Hardy, you're free to go back.
Next is going to be right here, him. Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
How you doing?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You've been charged with 1 count of armed robbery and 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I cannot set bond at this hearing on the armed robbery charge. So I'm not going to set a bond on the possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I'm going to let the next judge handle that. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 26th at 8:30 in the morning. And
You said April 26th?
yes, sir. And you're going to have a bond hearing date set for April 30th. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently employed, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
I made like $13.50.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Johnson. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
I just got one question.
Yes.
So what if that possession with a weapon? What if I ain't never had nothing on me? Or they ain't catching with nothing on me?
Well, right now, these are simple allegations. The state is going to have to prove each count beyond reasonable doubt. So if they can't prove that you had either actual or constructive possession of the weapon, then that charge you'll most likely be successful.
All right.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Johnson.
That was good.
Next is going to be Mr. McHugh.
Okay. Mr. McHugh, you're charged with one count of driving on a suspended license. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
You said no?
No, good.
Okay, you're going to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. McCoon. You're welcome.
That's the officer that's going. Next is Mr. Milner.
Mr. Milner, you're charged with one count of simple assault. There is going to be a bond set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Marsha Milner. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently employed, Mr. Milner?
No, sir.
Okay. You qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Milner?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Next is Mr. Reyes. Yeah.
Mr. Reyes, you're charged with one count of obstructing a highway. The bond is going to be set at $3,000. You believe you can post that bond?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Why am I charged? That wasn't obstruction. I was praising the Lord on the street.
Okay, the allegation was that you were throwing construction barrels in the middle of the street on Old Dixie Highway, obstructing the roadway for the incoming drivers.
When the police arrived, I was on my knees on the street.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Well, I don't have no money. I don't have nothing. Like, I just want my freedom.
Well, the lawyer is the quickest way to get to that. Are you currently working, Mr. Reyes?
I should have been at work by now, by my side here.
How much do you make per month?
Well, depending, because I work for myself. So depending how, because I got a small business called Complete Handy Solutions.
Okay.
And really, I don't have like a quota or like any amount of money I make because I work for the Lord. I don't work for nobody.
You want a lawyer? Do you want a lawyer to represent you?
I have my lawyer.
Okay.
I have witnesses with me too.
Mr. Reyes, I will be happy to appoint a lawyer to help you get out if you want me to.
Your Honor, may I please walk out of here free, please? And can I go to work tomorrow? And if I have to bring you some money
Hey,
back.
listen. He's here to set your bond, to see if you want a lawyer or if you're gonna represent yourself and for you to go. It's not about you explaining your situation, why you got locked up, none of that.
Yeah.
Answer the question. Do you want him to set you a lawyer? You gonna represent yourself or you gonna hire your own attorney?
I'm representing myself.
Okay.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Reyes.
Next is Mr. Richardson.
Mr. Richardson, you're charged with one count of obstructing an officer and one count of loitering. You're gonna have a total bond set at $4,000. Do you believe you can post this bond?
Wait, what's the percentage of $4,000?
It'll be about $400. Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Are you currently working, Mr. Richardson?
Yeah, I work at Wendy's, but if I don't make it out of here in time, then no.
Okay.
We're not gonna, no.
How much do you make per hour, Mr. Richardson?
Probably like $8 an hour, $9.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Richardson. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back.
Appreciate it.
Next, your honor, his last name spelling Sipraseurth.
Okay. How do you pronounce your name, sir? Your last name?
Sipraseurth.
Okay, Mr. Power.
Sir.
Sir, and I'm sorry for butchering your name. You've been charged with one count of driving under the influence of alcohol and one count of reckless driving. You're gonna have a total bond set for $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
What's the difference between, an appointment lawyer if I want to hire myself? What's the difference between?
So when you hire your own lawyer, you're paying that person to deal with you directly. When a lawyer is appointed, they have a lot of people that they have to deal with. So it's not necessarily that you're getting personal service that you will possibly get from hiring your own lawyer.
Okay, so do I have to pay for that, the appointment with a lawyer?
If you hire your own lawyer, yes.
Okay, what about what's it, appointment?
So if you meet the threshold, you can have a lawyer appointed if you want. Are you currently employed?
Unemployed, but I have the unemployed money.
Okay. So did you say you're going to hire your own lawyer?
No, appointed.
Okay. You do qualify, sir, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, I would like to, if possible, contact because last night I was trying to contact my mom, my wife. I can't get in touch with them. I want them to come bail me out today.
Okay, so the sheriff's department, they will allow you to use a phone when you're done with this proceeding. They do it within their rules and guidelines. So it's not like you leave this hearing and demand immediately to use the phone. When they allow you to use it, you'll be able to use it, but you will be able to use it soon.
Yes, and Your Honor, in case if I can't get in touch with them by using the phone, then usually they don't pick up the phone number that's like stranger phone number. So that's going to be a problem for me if I can't leave them voicemails or something.
Hey, sometimes they, whenever you just ask to go up front the intake, they'll let you use their phone that you can dial out from their phone, and it'll be a local number. That way you can get out like that if you can't get out.
Yeah, or either if I can text and, text
Well, I
and.
don't know about texting, but they'll let you use the phone up front.
I mean, that's gonna be a problem and that's what I'm concerning.
We'll help you. They'll help you out.
Yes, yes, they will work with you.
Yes,
They'll
sheriff will go over there.
they'll help you out.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You're free to go back, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Next is Mr. Stoney.
Mr. Stoney, you're charged with possession of firearm by a convicted felon and possession of a weapon during the commission of crime and possession of less than an ounce of marijuana. The two felonies is the possession of firearm and possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I cannot set bond on those at this hearing because there's an indication that you are still on either probation or parole. So there's going to be a $1,500 bond set on the possession of marijuana. I'm going to set a bond hearing date for April 30th and a preliminary hearing date for April 28th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working, Mr. Stoney?
Yes, sir.
You said no?
I said, yes, sir.
Okay, approximately how much do you make per month?
All right, 3,000.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Stoney. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next is Mr. Summerhour.
Sir, you're charged with one count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000, but there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from an summer hour.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the stay away provision?
I do, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently employed, Mr. Summerhour?
I am.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
2,500.
Okay, you do qualify. Sir, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next is Mr. Wade.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing well, Mr. Wade. You're charged with one count of a window tint violation. Bond is going to be set at $500 for that. Charged with one count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon. I'm going to set a bond at $10,000 for that. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I'm setting the bond at $5,000. And possession of marijuana less than an ounce. I'm setting the bond at $1,500. So you're going to have a total bond set of $17,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 28th. And that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out and you get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you currently employed, Mr. Wade?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
About how much do you make per month?
I make roughly about $1,100 a month.
Okay. So you do qualify, sir. I'm appointing a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir, Your Honor. You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. You're free to go back, Mr. Wade.
Next is Mr. Wilson.
You know.
Good afternoon, sir. Sorry, I got to make a notation on something. Give me 1 second. Mr. Wilson, you are charged with one count of loitering, and it's being charged as a county ordinance violation. You're going to have a bond set at $1,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 27th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir, I represent myself.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Wilson, unless you have a question for me.
I do got a question.
Yes, sir.
No matter, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
You just said.
Last one is Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, you're charged with armed robbery, hijacking motor vehicle, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. I cannot set bond on the armed robbery charge at this point. So I'm denying bond on the other offenses and leaving that for the next judge to set the bond. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 28th at 8:30 in the morning. And that's gonna be over Zoom.
What date is it?
April 28th.
This is preliminary hearing?
Yes, sir. I'm also setting a bond hearing date for April 30th. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm gonna get my own lawyer.
Okay. You're free to go back, Mr. Wright, if you don't have any questions.
That's all, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you do me a favor and check on the CAAs and maybe resend them? Because for whatever reason, I didn't get them. And I want to try to get this paperwork done without wasting too much time.
Yes, sir, I will.
Okay, thank you. And